Hello and welcome back to Touch Football, and some of you might recognise where I'm sitting right now. For the long-standing Touch Football fans, I am filming this video in the same location me and Ryan filmed the infamous first intro video that we did. So it's a bit of a throwback to any long fans here, but we're going to get straight into this video. You would have seen the title, and yes, Senegal are in crisis. What we're going to do in this video is go through the first match day of the World Cup. I'm also including Qatar versus Ecuador in there because there was only one game that match day. We'll start with Qatar versus Ecuador. 2-0 Ecuador win. I think Ecuador were robbed of having a World Cup hat-trick in their country, which World Cup hat-tricks are rare enough as it is. And for one of the smaller nations to even have a chance of that and for it to be taken away is disgusting, really. I still don't see how it's offside. None of the Qatari players were calling for it or anything. There was no reason that was offside. I don't know where they got that decision from. For me, it's a horrible decision. But overall, Ecuador, they looked pretty good, I do have to say. They looked very good. Made it a very exciting game for the first 20 minutes, maybe. Did get a bit boring after that, however. But they did finish the game out well and looked like a solid team. Enner Valencia, what a player. I honestly never heard of him before, but absolutely brilliant. Just incredible player. Played on through an injury as well. Got fixed up at half-time. Came back on. Still smashed it, I think. I actually can't remember if he did come back on. I think he did. Doesn't matter though. He still smashed it while he was on the pitch. Next game then is, of course, England versus Iran. The second World Cup game. One of many schools across the country stopped to watch the game. And for England, what a moment it was. Can't argue with that at all. A 6-2 win. I mean, maybe you could say you would have liked to not concede, although the 2 goals, Taremi, what a finish that was for his goal. And then the penalty, arguably shouldn't have been a penalty, especially compared to the Maguire foul that wasn't given at the start of the game. Whether it was a penalty, and you can't do much about those either. So those 2 goals, they're a bit harsh to concede, but we still won with a 4-goal difference, so that's good. I think Trippier, I was expecting a little more from him, but still very solid at right back. Maguire had a pretty good game for, well, Maguire standards. Stones looked solid as usual. Shaw played better than I thought he would. Mount, I don't like him for Chelsea, but he turns up in an England shirt, so if he keeps doing that, I'm happy for him. Then you've got the front 3. Kane got an assist, maybe 2. He would have liked to get on the score sheet, but he still contributed to a massive win for the team. Bukayo Saka, obviously, absolutely brilliant. Check out the TikTok we made on that as well. Link to that will be in the description, so check that as well. And yeah, I think Saka on fire. First goal good. Second goal even better. Although the finish for the first goal was better, but the skill for the second goal was better. And then you got Rashford came on, scored. Wilson made an impact. Grealish obviously got a goal from the bench as well. I think for me though, star player almost whenever I think we're going to see England play in the future is got to be Jude Bellingham. What a player. I think he's so good. As a Liverpool fan, I hope we sign him. I think he's one of the best players in the world already, and he's not even 20 yet. That is absolutely ridiculous. He's got a brother. He's basically got a clone. Imagine there's 2 of them running around. That will be absolutely insane. Imagine that's the England midfield in the future. The 2 Bellingham brothers absolutely smashing it. That'd be the stuff of dreams for them and their parents. But yeah, Bellingham, great header for the first goal. Sterling got one as well, good for his confidence after going into the World Cup on poor form with Chelsea. And overall, I have to say that was a very good game for England. Obviously, the limbs in the schools were obviously there as well. That was pretty fun. And yeah, I do think that England, they've put themselves in a good position to top the group. The next game, Netherlands versus Senegal. For 80 minutes, boring. And this is why I get onto the video with Senegal in crisis. I mean, they weren't brilliant at AFCON. They won it, but they were never brilliant. They were never convincing. However, they still had Sadio Mane, absolutely brilliant player, their main man. They looked to him for everything to create, especially past Mane and Hope. And without him, I just think they looked dull. They looked toothless. They looked blunt. They looked like a blunt sword. There's just no cutting edge to their attack. And I think, in the end, Netherlands, lacklustre performance from both teams, but Netherlands a bit more cutting edge, and in the end Cody Gakpo managed to punish them with Klaassen for his goal capitalising on a poor Mendy mistake, which I think is another reason for Senegal fans to maybe worry, is the fact that Edouard Mendy he got pushed out of the Chelsea team by Kepa. He'd been on rubbish form, and I think that is another place to worry for Senegal, and why I think at the moment, on current form, if we did the predictions again, I honestly think Ecuador have a really solid bid for finishing above Senegal at the moment. I just didn't see anything from them. I think Sarr had a couple of nice moments, but most of that game, it was all just the Netherlands having the ball. I mean, Senegal, they did show a bit of hunger and fight, but I just don't think they're going to be good enough to do anything in this tournament without Mane, and I feel like Ecuador are more of a team, so maybe Ecuador finish second in that group with Netherlands topping it and Senegal in third. But like I said, Senegal are in crisis. It's a horrible situation for them to be, but then the final game, it was obviously USA versus Wales, and for me, this game started, first 10 minutes, relatively exciting, then got pretty boring, but to be fair, I think Pulisic got the assist, great pass, and Timothy Weah, he's chosen to play for America instead of Liberia, his father's country. George Weah, he won the Ballon d'Or without ever going to the World Cup. He never won the Champions League either. AC Milan, PSG, Chelsea I think he was at. What an absolute player, probably the best Liberian player of all time, because to be honest, I don't know any other Liberian players. I will put my hands up to that. I don't know any other Liberians, and people say he's one of the best Africans of all time. He was obviously a bit before my time, I think retiring in 2003, 2 years before I was even born. But from what I've heard, quality striker, and I'm not convinced his son will get to the same level, but he's gone to a World Cup and scored, which unfortunately for George Weah is more than he did, because he did choose to line up for his home country, Liberia, but I'm sure he was very positive influence on football there as well. Like Timothy Weah, I think would be a big influence on the future of American football. I think he's got a good future ahead of him. He was injured before going into this World Cup. Only got 3 starts for Lille, I believe, in the French league. But if he's going to play like he did that game, looking good going forward, I honestly think he could be a very good player for Lille going into the future. And yeah, Wales, they managed to get the 1-1 draw. Bale, absolutely cracking penalty. I mean, he was the player they looked forward all game, but for me, man of the match in that game is either Tyler Adams for the USA or Kiefer Moore from Wales. He only came on half-time, and he changed the game, really. There's not much more you can say. Like, Wales looked so much better with him on the pitch. I thought they should have been starting him anyway, but with him on there, it looked so much better. They could actually play it forward, get him to hold up the ball, and then he'd keep it and pass it, or just dribble and hold back the defenders and get his teammates involved in the game, and he was influential in Wales getting back into that game. Obviously, Tim Ream made a silly challenge on Bale in his own box, which is not what you do when you're 1-0 up, but Wales, they're fortunate with that silly tackle. Bale converted the penalty, absolutely brilliant, and yeah, Wales could have scored a halfway line goal as well when Matt Turner came out. Wales got the ball back. Bale did get brought down, however, but I'm hoping that this will be a good start for them. But the fight and hunger they showed, Ethan Ampadu, Harry Wilson, going down with cramps, injuries, because they're putting their bodies on the line. I've got to admire it, to be honest with you. So I'm still hoping that Wales finish second in that group, because I think they're a decent team, and I'm honestly slightly backing them after England and Argentina. For me, it's probably like the team I'm going to support other than England for this World Cup. So I do want to see Messi win the World Cup. So that is it for this video. Senegal in crisis, title of the video. And yeah, that was the roundup for the rest of the first 2 days of the World Cup. So remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.